Welcome back to Bits of an Artist's Life. This is Sandy. I am beyond excited about today's video. I've got two new paints that I want to share with you guys, but one of them is the Shebang, like the paint of all paints for me. It's the one that I have found, that I have committed to, that I am even glad that I got my oil paint allergies, because this paint has been amazing. I'm calling it the secret paint because a bunch of you have been seeing on Instagram. I don't think I've shown you anything here on YouTube yet, because I've been waiting to show this video with you guys before I start showing you paintings that I work in. But on Instagram, you guys have been seeing me paint with this, and you've been asking me about it, and I'm always like, DM me and I'll tell you what it is. One of my friends the other day saw a painting I did, and he messaged me and said, "Did you do that with your secret paint?" I was like, yes. The reason I've been kind of secret about it and quiet about it is because I like to try products out really well, like for a long time. I want to be a resource for you guys that you can trust. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just get on here and try something for more time and be like, oh, this is great, or I don't like this. I want to really try it, especially if I'm going to say that this is like the paint of all paints for me. I want to show you the purchasing of it, my initial thoughts. I think I show in this video also the first painting that I do with it. And then at the end, I want to jump back on here and tell you all of what I've learned about this paint. Okay, let me show you how much I've committed though to this paint. So this is it. It's the Liquitex soft body acrylics, but these were the first bottles that I bought, and now I'm buying this. These bottles are huge and not cheap. So I've committed, but I'm telling you I love it. I'm going to tell you all the reasons why at the end of this video. All right, so let's just jump into the art haul. All right, guys, I went to the art store the other day to kind of get my hands on and physically look at different gouaches and talk to the art store workers. I ended up going with the soft body Liquitex that I'm going to try. I liked the fluidity and goopiness. It's like exactly the consistency that I would like. And I liked the tubes, or the like little jar things that it's in. So I got just my normal red, yellow, blue, cadmium, yellow light, two reds, you know, my red, and then my more pinky red, Lism crimson, hue permanent, and that thaw red light. This is really pretty. And the blue that I got was just an ultramarine blue red shade. One of the reasons I picked this was because this soft body, compared to like the fluid regular acrylic and golden, this has got a little more body to it, just a little bit than the fluid golden, but this also is more satin. So I'm hoping it's not gonna look so plasticky, because that's what I don't like about acrylics. So we'll see. I'll get back with you. While I was in the art store, I was talking with the manager. She was there, and I really like this manager. She's really sweet. Every time I'm in there, we get to talking for forever. And she gave me a whole set of free gouache. She was like, I really want you to try this gouache. I thought she was just gonna give me like one or two tubes of paint. I was like, yeah, I'd love to try it. I haven't tried it. Look what she gave me. This whole set. Hello. What? I was like, are you kidding me? And then she was also like, oh yeah, there's this other color I want to give you because I love it and I think you'll love it. So she threw this in also. I was like, what? This is gorgeous. It's called Lilac, and it is a beautiful, whoa. Let me see if you can see this. It's pretty. She's right. I'm excited about it. There are some really pretty colors. This brilliant violet, guys, I've been getting into purple lately. I don't know what's happening with myself. I mean, I have never been a purple person, but I'm gonna just tell you right now, there are some purples that have me fired up. Okay guys, I had to show you these colors. I squeezed them out and I'm dying. Wow. I mean, look at that purple. How pretty. So now I'm gonna swatch these. I just put them on my regular gouache palette, but hello. Guys, I forgot to tell you another thing that I'm loving about this kind of paint that I'm really hoping I like. This is pretty cool. They did it where, wait, let me see if I can figure this out. Yeah, so you can take this lid off and there's like a squeezy thing. But then you can also, there's a second layer of top that you can take off, and then you just have the open jar, whatever. Hello, that's smart. Yeah, baby. I wanted to show you the colors that I just got. There they are, straight from the tube. And they've got, especially the two reds, have a tiny bit of sheen to them, but I would say they are definitely just satin, and then that yellow and blue are very flat. Guys, I just got back from the art store, and guess what I bought more of? You don't have to guess because I'm going to show you. But don't look yet. But you couldn't guess that I bought more paint. I got some more of this Liquitex soft body acrylic because I'm loving it. There's not the strong fumes, at least with any of the colors that I've tried so far. I did forget to buy a white last time I was there. Rookie move. I mean, who forgets to buy white? I do. So I got a white. And yes, I got it in a small bottle. They have bigger bottles. Like, it goes from this to like ginormo. I wanted a little one because I'll be refilling these. I'll definitely need the bigger white, but I'm excited about seeing the consistency of this. Oh wait, don't. Okay, you can't see the colors. I didn't want you to see the colors yet. I got a Quin Magenta because I do not care for their alizarin crimson. It's a muddied color, so basically that means it's not a single pigment, their alizarin crimson. There's two pigments in it, which makes it kind of not a really pretty alizarin. There's a couple brands that do that, and I don't understand why, but I'd never like the alizarin crimson when they do that. So I got a Quin Magenta. It's just a single pigment. I needed something a little more pinky. This is gonna make a nice pink too. Okay, I also got basically like a phthalo blue green, but this is called, okay, let's see if I can pronounce this. I'm gonna just sound it out. Phthalo blue green shade. Basically, I think it's like a phthalo because I needed an oceany color. Then I also got an emerald green. I've been enjoying having an emerald green on my palette at times for just random things, not necessarily for making greens, like as in leaves, like natural greens. I would never use a green out of a tube for natural greens, like leaves and things like that, because they make terrible greens. But this is good for like wall color or, I don't know, things like that. And then, I don't know what's happening to me. This is literally my third purple to buy in a month. It's like I've lost my brain. This is a pretty purple. It's called Brilliant Purple, and it is really pretty. Let me just show you this. I'll take off the little top. I'm gonna swatch these like immediately because I have zero self-control when it comes to like swatching. Like I have to do it immediately. I need to see what they look like dry. Okay. Ooh, making a mess everywhere. But when you got paint and gloves, you can just wipe your hands off. Look at this. I mean, you can mix a purple. I think one of the reasons that I don't use purple a lot is one, because I'm not a big purple fan. I guess I'm turning into a purple fan. And I usually dirty it up with a little yellow, like knock it down some. I'm excited about this color. Had lots of self-control. Went in, had a return, got these. I mean, I did buy more colors than what I was expecting to, of course. But I'm gonna go swatch these now. I'm really dying to see what this purple looks like with some white. Ooh, that's pretty. Yep, that's pretty. Almost goes pinky. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice too. Yep, that's what I expected. Really like it. I often just dip my brush, a contaminated brush, so a brush that already has paint on it, into another tube. I think you would think that a lot would transfer, but it doesn't. Look, I just dipped that brush with green paint into that white and no paint transferred. I don't know really how that works, but it does. It works. Ooh, that's like a really nice mint green. Wow, that's pretty. Yeah, that's nice. This is exactly what I thought it should be. That's gonna be pretty. And with some white added, that's gonna be really nice. Oh yeah. that's the pink I'm after. Well, it's still not real brilliant. Wonder why. It's still not that like punch of pink that I'm after. But it is nice. No. Okay, take that back. This is nice. Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good. And then too, you can't like judge it till it's completely dried. These phthalos are usually very potent. Take over your palette. So you have to just, you know, a little bit goes a long way. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, now let's add some white. Oh yeah. That's nice. Oh wow. Yep, that's beautiful. That's really pretty. Wow, that's gorgeous. Yep. Man, I'm happy with these paints, guys. Ooh, that's like a robin's egg blue right there. Nice. Okay, thrilled. I need to go wash these dirty hands. All right, guys, I was really excited about jumping in and trying out this paint. So I first just did a sketch just to give me a layout like I usually do. And I'm already just like super happy with it. I did this one on paper. And now I'm gonna just jump in with these luscious paints. And I am so excited. Here we go, slapping it on. Guys, I mean, the colors are just really beautiful and I cannot get over the texture of this paint. Okay guys, I think I'm done with this one. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I painted this from that painting up there. Let me zoom in for you. Okay, it's really dark up there so you can't see it well, but that was my reference. And obviously I changed things around, but I love the vibrancy of this paint. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to do a big one on paper so I could really test it out. And then what I'm going to do when this is completely dry, and actually just really when I feel like it, I'm going to varnish this with a semi-gloss because I have a feeling that this paint is going to look like oils after it's varnished. I don't think you're going to be able to tell at all. It does not have the plasticky effect that regular acrylics do. It just, that blows my mind because I hate the plasticky look of acrylics, but this is just really making me happy. Let me also show you one of the reasons you don't need to be afraid of mistakes or changing things that you feel questionable about. Like this was a big, what did I have here? Oh yeah, I had like a big bowl of oranges up there in that painting. There's a big bowl and I could just tell compositionally it wasn't working. So then I tried to make it into a platter. That didn't work. So then when I put my white because you never use straight white, so, but it reads white over this, do you see how then there it creates pattern? It's not this big chunky white table. There's pattern all around, and you can see where I've just done washes, the initial sketch of the table. Here I made the teapot bigger and I didn't cover that up fully, so then you can see parts of it. And of course I'm telling you that, so now you know that. Your eye wouldn't have even noticed this, but it just would read better. And then even like right here, see, I love like this little swatch of blue that shows through on this. So I like to leave some of that, and I just feel like it really creates some very interesting brush strokes. Yeah, man, I'm thrilled with this. Absolutely thrilled with the painting experience and with the paint. I just could not be happier. I literally like this better than the golden matte fluid acrylics that they did away with. They had like a tackiness, almost like honey. Like there was a stickiness to it, and these just, they literally have the same consistency as the So Flat, but they don't have the strong smell as the So Flat, and they're not the ultra matte. The ultra matte was just too matte, and this is like a perfect in between, and it's very satin. It's almost matte. I mean, I'm loving it, and I'm so happy. So I'm going to get to painting. I want work on another painting because I can't wait to work with these paints. So I'm gonna go get to it. Okay guys, let me tell you why I'm loving this paint so much. I've actually been painting in this for probably a couple months now, and I mean painting like a maniac. I've already had to go back 3 times to the art store to replace paint because I've been using it so much. There's so many things I want to tell you. Let me tell you this because I may forget it. One of the things I'm loving about it is that I'm able to paint with it on canvas, my paper, my sketchbook. So I'm getting a lot of use. So instead of like with my oils, I would really just paint on canvas, sometimes on large paper, but it felt like for more serious paintings, I'm loving that I'm able to use this for everything. One of the benefits to that is that I'm getting to know this paint really well and really quickly. And then that way too, my sketchbook paintings and practice transfers over a little more equally when I'm painting something serious because it's the same medium. I mean, that's kind of obvious. I think the overall thing that I want to say about this paint is that it does not get in my way. Like the consistency doesn't, the colors don't. Like I can just paint and I'm not fighting with the paint. The consistency is absolutely amazing. I would like even better than flash paint. You guys know that I love my flash paint. Okay, I thought maybe I better get a bottle because so many of y'all are always like, what is flash paint? So this is flash paint. Flash paint is just, it's a vinyl paint. It's been out for forever. It was kind of the first like acrylic. It's got a great consistency. It dries flat or matte. And I thought you couldn't get a better consistency than this or a better paint. One of the negatives with this, there's something that it kind of separates a little. So sometimes you have to re-stir it. Now that may be fine for most people, but I do contaminate my paints a little bit. So I'll put my brush in like 2 different colors or 3 and then mix. And so, or I'll have a, you know, a color in my brush that I'm using, maybe a red, but then I want to lighten it. So I stick that contaminated brush in my white instead of wasting the paint. And so then I've never had a problem with it, but the paints do get contaminated in there. And if I have to stir them, I mean, I say that, and like when I've stirred them, you never can tell a difference. It's really not that big of a deal. But with these paints, I don't have to stir them. There's no, what did I say that was? There's no separating. And so you can see here what I mean by the contaminating. And even if I did stir this up, that probably would not be enough to like make it a different color. But I kind of like that those colors sit there because I never want, usually I don't want a pure color, but if I did want a pure color, I could just go over to the side here. But I love that there's little bits of other colors because then it already helps contaminate my color and make it a little more neutralized. Okay, so you can see I was holding it like this and it wasn't running. Well, it's starting to move just a little bit. So these are soft body. I feel like that name is like perfect. They have this softness. So if you're familiar with gouache, even acrylic gouache, I would consider that, like this is just slightly softer than that. It's really amazing. So you don't have to add water to it. Like I can just take it straight from this. You don't have to kind of get it workable. So if you use different paints, you know what I mean by that. And you may be like, what is this? So I bought a bunch of, I think these are just like food, little, you know, like that you put sauces in and stuff, like to-go things. And I bought a huge thing of them back when I was doing, okay, that last video, you know, I was using in the oils, I was mixing them in my cups. And then even a few videos back, some of my flash paints, I was doing that with. So I bought these and then I was like, oh no, I'm not doing that anymore. But I've been putting my paints in this because I love these tubes. Because you got the squirty, or that's what I call it, or like the more open. But when I use the paint up to about here, it gets a little harder when I'm like, you know, really getting at it painting. It's a little harder to get to the paint. So I have just been squirting them out in these, and I love them because it's the perfect for me amount of paint in it, and it's a nice wide mouth thing. I use a matte medium with it also. Let me show you this. I've been using this matte golden fluid medium. I like the fluid because it's fluidier. Is that a word? What you want to do, I've learned, I feel like I'm in this new world of acrylics and been having to learn a lot. I learned that with acrylics, you don't want to add too much water because it breaks down the, am I gonna remember the word? I don't really remember the technical word, but basically the binding, to be able to bind it to whatever is going on, canvas or paper. And so it can have a weak surface. I do not want a weak surface, especially if it's the first layer on the thing, because sometimes I like to do a wash. So I really don't even use my water except to clean my brush, and then sometimes I'll dab that off. Sometimes when I get like a really good loaded brush, sometimes I'll barely dip it in the water, but if I want to thin it, because I want thin, then I use this. And what I've been doing is using an empty one of these, and I've labeled it medium, and the squeeze top, I just go like that onto my palette, and use that if I want to kind of thin the paint. Another thing I just thought of, guys, the smell. How can I not mention the smell? Holy smokes. Now, if you get your nose, all right, let's just do it. Yeah, if you get down in there, it's got a smell, but it does not have a smell like just without that, right? I mean, what doesn't have a smell if you do that? I mean, even this, probably. God bless America. Okay, well, I'm gonna be high off that now. Don't do that. What was the saying? Yeah, this, this smell. It's just non-existent. Now, let me tell you this. Let's make sure that we're talking about the Liquitex Soft Body Acrylics. Liquitex has a acrylic gouache, and a friend of mine who I trust, she's a really great artist, has used that and said it stunk to high heavens, and she had to send it back. So that kind of kept me from wanting to try this for a while, but I went with this because when I talked to the art store lady, she said out of all the acrylics, this has like the, sorry, that stuff, the more matte drying. You know, it's called satin, which I'm fine with satin. Oh, holy moly. I can't even believe I almost forgot to tell y'all this. So this is labeled satin, like that it will dry satin, but I'm telling you, it dries pretty doggone matte. And I guess maybe one of the things that I love most about it that I didn't even mention first, which I should have mentioned first, is that it doesn't look like plastic. I mean, you know, acrylics, that's one of the reasons I've not used acrylics. One, because it dried so super fast. Hope I remember to tell y'all about that too. But also because it looks like plastic when it dries. And I just don't like that. And that's why I think a lot of us like matte stuff, like gouache and things like that, because it doesn't look plasticky. But these have, some of the colors have a little more sheen than others, but it does not look plasticky. So if you've been following me on Instagram, you've been seeing a lot of paintings that have been with this. I don't know why I just pointed to that, because here's the paint. I mean, that painting is in the works, that's up there, and it is done with this paint. You've been seeing a lot of it, and they don't look plastic. In fact, I think you would be hard pressed if you saw a painting of mine in oil next to one of these paintings. I think you would almost maybe pick the acrylic painting, the Liquitex soft body acrylic painting over the oil, because I'm telling you, it's really gorgeous. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm, even if like my lungs get better or we get like an air purifier and I can go back to my oils, I don't know if I will. I'm loving painting with this. Okay, let's also, before I forget, we all know that can happen. This little brain. Oh no, I just forgot. Wait, what? Oh no. Oh, the drying time. Thank you, brain. It is a lot like the flash paint. I feel like heavy body acrylics and things like that dry up super fast. Or any of the acrylics that I tried back in the day when I tried them for a hot minute. Is this bothering y'all that I'm like pointing with this? Like you'd be painting and then you'd go to sneeze and you'd come back and you're like, paint's dried. These are like the flash paint. Those of you that have been following me for a while know that that's one of the things I say about the flash paint, that it stays wet just long enough, like on the painting and on the palette, where you can just still, if you want to work wet into wet. Now, I mean, it's not like oils, but it doesn't like dry. You know what I mean? It's just, I mean, consistency, drying time, sheen, color. It's got everything going for it. Now it's gonna be like hard to find because you guys are gonna go buy it, but maybe I need to go stock up on all of these. Maybe y'all won't be buying these right off the bat. And then from here on out, you'll be seeing paintings I do with this paint in the like future videos and probably everywhere, because I don't know if I'll ever switch to anything else. I don't know if it can ever get better than this. I have been playing around with my palette and how I've been using these paints. So let me know if you would like to see how I've been setting up my palette. If so, it's probably going to be in a really future video, because I definitely want to, I'm like ahead with my footage. Maybe I'll share that over on Instagram. Make sure to follow me over on Instagram, because basically in the stories, almost every day I do little versions of what I do here on YouTube over on Instagram in the stories. Oh yeah, okay, let me show you this too. This big one, let me see if it is a little hard. Hold on. Ooh. But this, the big ones have the squeezy thing too, which is nice for when I'm doing into these. So a little tip there. The flash and the golden matte fluid acrylics that I loved, both have, it's almost like they don't have honey in them, but you know how honey has this like sticky consistency, like a little bit of resistance, goopy resistance. Those two paints had that and these do not. That may not make any sense to you. If you've not used either one of those, you don't know what I mean. But if you have used those, you know what I mean. This does not have that. This just has soft, smooth, like niceness. Highly recommend it. All right, that's gonna be it for this week. And I will see you back here next week, guys.